Hello everyone and welcome back. We're going to wrap this up right now as I take our personal opinions on gender roles. I'll start with you.
Okay. Closing statements, yeah? Like we've said, I think just do what works for you, fam. And your partner or your spouse. Yeah. Because you guys are mostly the ones that have issues with gender roles, basically. You know, men, we it's not like we enjoy this role, but we don't complain like that. If you notice, we don't enjoy the roles that have been given to us in this whole gender roles discussion.
We don't love to switch.
Yeah, if it's possible.
Like getting pregnant for 9 months.
No, not pregnancy.
That was given to you by
God. We can't take it away. What God has given to you, we can't take it from you.
Okay, so which role do you wish to switch?
We will wash plates. Go and bring money.
Yeah, I understand.
We are not complaining. We will wash plates. Go and bring the money.
Let's go this and that is something.
What is plate that cannot wash?
Yeah. So I don't think just do what works and don't discriminate and don't judge. Don't look at a particular person's situation and think yours could be better and try to cast aspersion like, why is she allowing this to happen? Why is, that kind of thing, where you just judge the dynamics of a particular couple's relationship without knowing what actually is going on there and thinking you are too enlightened and too exposed and too woke and it can't happen to you. Like, you see some single people say, in my marriage, this kind of thing that kind of conversation. So I think it's about you and your situation.
All right.
Why are you calling this question?
What do you want? Circumstance. Same thing.
You and me.
Is this English class? Please give us your own.
Okay, for me, just like I said, just do what works. Every family has its own peculiarity. Yeah. Don't follow everything on social media. Yuki has said.
Thank you.
Like, seriously, Yuki has said. You were not there when those people were discussing. You don't even know what's happening in their homes. Just because you see it on social media, you just want to copy it. No, it's not. Before I enter courtship, I'm not entering courtship, but I just want to say, just
open the gate.
Before you get shocked in marriage, I think you should have talked about it. Whatever it is, whatever the role you want your husband or your wife to play, must have been discussed. So it's not like something you're just waking up to and you're shocked, or you're supposed to do this and you're like, am I, or something. Every home has its peculiarity, so just do what works and don't feel pressured by people who are not even there yet and are just painting something to make you feel society and all of that. No. Just
be pressure to conform.
Yeah, that's all. Just do what works for your family.
Alright, so let's hear from Teddy.
Okay, so I kind of feel when we say do what works and we say have conversations before you get into the marriage or before you get to that spot where you now begin to say, this is what I want to do, this is what I don't want to do. I think it's kind of contradictory. I just think everybody should stay fluid. I can't. So I grew up believing that in my own marriage I must do X, Y, Z. So in courtship, I'm telling whoever I'm getting married to, this is what I'm doing X, Y, Z. How far are you going to do ABC? If you are not going to do ABC, then please next. And this one I'll do ABC. You see, I think a lot of times we fail to realize that circumstances can change.
Yeah, it does.
And if you are not fluid enough, I think emphasis should be on fluidity, being fluid enough, being able to adapt. Because things can change real quick. And that thing you felt, this is what I am supposed to do, that's what you are supposed to do, can just change. And you now need to do the other thing you said you were not going to do. But because you've spent your entire life saying, I will never do this, things now become very rough. I think that's why a lot of people have issues.
Yeah.
So I would say, don't just do what works, stay fluid.
Okay. That's
Be
in
fluid.
addition to doing what
Yes, be fluid. Of course, when you're fluid, you just do what works because
Yeah.
it's about what do we need to do now? What's going to work here?
As
What's going to
things
work
change,
right
you
now? It's not about. It's not even about whatever. They are just rules.
They're just-
Things just need to be done. How do we get it done? Do we need to hire somebody? We mustn't even do it.
Not
Can we
we're
outsource
supposed
it?
to do it, or
You know,
that.
of course, there are things that you might not want to outsource. You know, like your children, you say, oh no, I'm not going to outsource my children to anybody. I want to pay attention to this, right? But in that as well, be ready to also put your energy and your time where your mouth is. So don't just say, my children, so some people will say stuff like, we're not going to eat stale food. Be ready to cook the food.
Don't come
Make
back
it
with
fresh.
sausage.
Don't put that on somebody else. Right? My children will never be ready to put in the energy and the time.
Yeah.
Right? To make it work. Don't just come and throw out stuff out there and expect the other person to, you know.
Suffer for it.
Yeah. So that's
except you can afford to pay for that service.
Yeah.
So get someone to do it. I mean, interesting conversation. Okay, on my end, I would love to close with this, and specifically to the female folks. Don't eat me raw. Just listen to what I'm saying. Yeah. So
Before they eat you, I will eat you. I'm here.
yeah, so I kind of think that gender roles have become a very important conversation in our time because of the way the cost of living has gone really up. So before now, it was easier for one person to carry all of the bills. Yeah, it was much easier, but right now it's going to be too much for one person to carry. So it's now important that the woman is not just a stay-at-home wife. She's working. She's supposed to work. I mean, working for a woman is important. It helps her express herself, so it's good. It's important. So she also contributes to bills. Now, being that women are now also working and contributing, the conversation for gender roles is now important because we both went to work and we came back exhausted. We're about to exhausted. Yes, I opened the gate.
We are both exhausted.
Yeah, so you don't expect me to come back at the same time. Sometimes some women even work later than the husband. I come back and then I still have to fix meals for the children, pick children from school and all of those stuff. So gender is important, but you have to understand that, especially understand where you are. You know this gender roles thing we're talking about. A girl who is in Africa is talking about gender roles like she's in Asia or she's in Europe. For Christ's sake, understand where you are. You are in Africa. My sister, when you have left the shores of this country, then you can talk about gender. When you are here, learn how to cook. Stop that nonsense. I'm telling you, go and tell your father about gender roles. Yes, sit before your father and educate him about gender roles. Let's know how that conversation ends. No, but that's just the absolute truth. I mean, if you're in Africa, the conversation is different. If you go to Europe, the conversation is entirely different. Yeah. So understand your environment. So you don't shoot yourself in the leg in the name of being woke. Do you get? So a lot of ladies in the name of being woke say, oh, wife not cook, hashtag wife not cook. I mean, you are doing yourself a disservice because you are in Nigeria, you are in Africa, and I don't want to sound like I'm a traditionalistic person. No, I'm not. I'm saying just understand your environment and where you are. If you are in Europe, it's different, but you are in Africa. Here, we expect that the woman knows how to take care of the home. I'm not saying that's her role for life, but I'm saying just as a young lady listening to me right now, if you don't know how to cook, you can learn. Do you get? Go out there and learn. There are even schools that teach people how to.
Who is we? You sound like there's a council of elders.
that has been what? I'm saying understand your environment. Do you get?
Yeah.
Understand your environment.
Of course,
No, you can't.
Your environment can be your house.
No. Yeah,
so in my house, our environment.
I didn't say understand
your house.
Your house. No.
I'm not the wife.
For example, I'll give a typical example.
Or the wife of
you are not going to stay in your house forever now. I was addressing the female folks now. I mean, I was talking to women now. Young ladies. Do you get? You are in Africa, and every young lady desires to settle down someday. You're going to get married. You're going to run a home, run a family.
Some young, most young.
Most. So for most men, young men who are looking for a wife, are looking for somebody who is homely. Ask any young man. Yes, I know why this man is laughing because I know why he's laughing. I saw this young man's post on Facebook.
What is homely?
Some few hours ago, sampling opinions of young men in church who say they are looking for homely.
What is homely?
Homemakers.
Homemakers.
Home
So
takers.
please, don't follow him. He's trying to make you woke. My sister, when you are 45, you will say man na man.
What's the wrong with it? Well, I think that would be a conversation.
The conversation for another day.
Yes.
But I just thought to drop that there.
that's right.
I think we should just be.
We should balance.
Yes,
Yeah,
that
balance.
balance is important.
Balance that.
Yeah.
Important.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that brings us to the end of the show for today.
I'm not done. We'll continue this talk later. Behind the camera.
Behind the scenes.
Okay, cool. I'll be in my house when you're doing
Because
that,
you must
please.
tell me who inaugurated this class of elders.
So please.
All right, please, let's get your opinion in the comment
Yeah,
section.
your comments.
Tell us what you think about gender roles. And then thank you for watching. See you some other time.
Yeah.
Bye.